Hoài has finally found her way out of the dark forest, a place where she had searched tirelessly for many days. She can now step onto the main road that leads back to her family, where her loved ones are eagerly waiting to reunite with her. Tony and Hùng. Her companions have always been waiting for her to return to their warm embrace. They have gone through difficult moments, but love and faith have kept them close. Hoài, with her tired yet resilient steps, has finally found the path back home. What seemed like an endless journey of being lost now shines with hope, guiding her back to her family. If you also hope for Hoài reunion with her loved ones, if you believe that love will always overcome all challenges, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join us on these heartfelt stories. Hoài has finally found her way out of the dark forest where she had wandered for many tiring days. She decided to follow the stream, hoping it would lead her to a place that could help her find the way back home. And after a journey full of hardships, she finally found the main road. However, upon reaching this road, she felt confused, not knowing where she was. She couldn't remember how to get back home. Everything seemed vague in her mind, despite this hope still burned in her heart. She decided to continue her journey, believing that if she kept walking along the road, it would eventually lead her to where she belonged. She wouldn't allow herself to give up halfway. Stopping at a mountain stream, she washed her face to stay alert, trying to regain the strength to continue. She whispered to herself, "I can't stop. I have to go home." She kept walking, and each time she encountered someone along the way, she stopped to ask for help, hoping they could guide her back. But everyone she met couldn't offer any assistance. She spoke to a shepherd by the roadside, but he didn't know where she needed to go. Feeling a bit desperate, she kept moving forward. A little further along, she met an elderly woman holding a child. She asked for directions again, but unfortunately, the woman couldn't help either. Feeling hopeless, Hoài had no choice but to continue her journey. She began to feel like she had been walking for too long, her body exhausted and hunger gradually sapping her strength. Yet in her heart, the longing never ceased. Finally, after a long stretch of road, she spotted a house by the roadside. With no other option, Hoài turned in, hoping for some help. She entered and met a young man standing there. She didn't hesitate to ask for directions back home, and the young man looked at her for a while before answering, "Your home is far about 100 kilometers from here." Hoài felt a bit disappointed upon hearing that number, but with no other choice, she accepted it. At least, she now knew she was heading in the right direction. After some more time on the road, Hoài met another woman who pointed her to a shortcut nearby, helping her save some time. Through their conversation, the woman learned more about Hoài and realized she had been lost here for a long time, unable to find the way home. Hoài thanked the woman and continued her journey. She knew that even though her body was tired and hunger was making her weak, she couldn't stop. Each step she took was one step closer to the loving home where Tony and Hùng, her loved ones, were waiting for her return. Hùng arrived at the police station with a heavy heart filled with worry. He knew that only with the help of the authorities could he find Hoài, who he had lost contact with for a long time. He walked into the police office full of hope and anxiety. After exchanging a few words with the officers, he inquired about their health and work, but soon could no longer delay and went straight to the important matter. "I'm here today for something very important." Hung began, his voice urgent. "I need your help to find my missing loved one. She's been lost in the forest nearby. I haven't been able to reach her for the past few days, and I'm very worried." The officer listened carefully, his gaze filled with empathy. After a moment, he asked for a description of Hoài so they could identify her and search more easily. "Can you describe her? What does she look like? What was she wearing?" the officer asked in a calm yet responsible tone. Hung felt a sense of helplessness. His eyes quickly scanned the phone in his hand. "Honestly, I can't remember exactly what she was wearing. I only know that she has a small build, long hair, and always has a gentle appearance. I only have a few photos of us together, but I can't remember what she was wearing at this moment." He said, the sense of helplessness evident in his voice. The officer nodded gently and asked Hung to show him the photos. Hung quickly opened his phone and showed the officer the pictures, trying to point out the details he could recall. Even though he couldn't provide exact information about her clothing, Hung still hoped the photos would help in the search. After reviewing the information, the officer began taking careful notes and discussing search plans with his colleagues. "We will coordinate with the search teams and be ready to deploy immediately. You can rest assured that we will do everything we can to find her." Hung felt a sense of relief upon hearing the officer's determination. At least now he was no longer alone in this search. Things seemed to be heading in a clearer direction. He thanked the officer and prepared to leave. As he stood up, Hung looked at the officer with a grateful expression. "Thank you so much. I hope to hear some good news soon." Hung said, his voice now softer, though the worry hadn't entirely faded. The officer smiled and patted Hung on the shoulder reassuringly. "We'll do our best. You can count on us. Someone will help you." Hung thanked him again and left the police station. As he stepped outside, he felt some of the weight lift off his shoulders. He knew that the search for Hoài wouldn't be easy, but at least now he had the support of the authorities. Hunger tormented Hoài, preventing her from continuing along the long road. She felt exhausted and discouraged, but there was no choice but to find somewhere to eat. She spotted a small noodle shop by the roadside and immediately thought that if she could do something in exchange for a bowl of noodles, it might help her overcome her hunger. With no time to hesitate, she decided to step into the shop. Once inside, Hoài didn't hesitate to share her story with the shopkeeper. She honestly told her that she hoped to work for a bowl of noodles. The shopkeeper listened and, understanding her situation, decided to give her a chance. "If you want to work, I can let you help me clean the shop," the shopkeeper said, and Hoài immediately set to work. She started by cleaning the tables, collecting the used bowls, and arranging the items neatly. Hoài worked tirelessly, hoping that her efforts would be rewarded. While working, her mind kept drifting back to Tony and Hung. She wondered if they were okay, if they were worrying about her, if they missed her. These questions constantly filled her mind, but she couldn't stop. She had to keep working to get food to regain her strength and to continue her journey. She didn't just clean, but also helped the shopkeeper by serving bowls of noodles to customers, washing each bowl carefully. With every bowl she cleaned, it felt like she was one step closer to filling her empty stomach. Despite the fatigue, she found some comfort in the simple task, knowing it was helping her escape hunger. She kept thinking about her loved ones, the home she was heading toward, and encouraged herself to keep going. When the work was done, The shopkeeper brought out a special bowl of noodles for Hoài, filled with meat, fresh vegetables, and spices, unlike the usual bowls customers had. Hoài couldn't hide her emotions. She looked at the bowl, then up at the shopkeeper with tears in her eyes. "Thank you so much," she said, her voice choked with emotion. The shopkeeper gave her a sympathetic look and gently said, "Eat. You need to regain your strength. Don't worry, everything will be okay." After finishing the meal, Hoài felt much better. She didn't rush to get up, but stayed to wash her bowl. Each small action helped her feel a little more at peace, as if things were slowly returning to their proper course. When everything was done, Hoài decided to say goodbye to the shopkeeper. Before she left, the shopkeeper advised her, "You should go quickly, it's getting late. Be careful on the road." Hoài nodded and thanked her. As she was about to leave, the shopkeeper suddenly called her back and handed her 2 packets of instant noodles. "Take these with you for the journey in case you get hungry," she said, her eyes full of concern. Hoài hesitated, but accepted them, thanking the shopkeeper once more. She bid farewell and stepped outside, continuing her journey. Each step Hoài took now was not just the walk of a lost person, but the walk of someone who refused to give up, someone who kept moving forward with resilience, despite knowing that the road ahead was long and filled with challenges. But at least now she knew she wasn't alone on this journey. She would keep going with the hope that one day, not too far off, she would be reunited with her loved ones.
Hoài đã tìm được lối ra khỏi khu rừng tăm tối, nơi mà cô đã mòn mỏi tìm kiếm suốt bao ngày qua. Cô có thể bước đi trên con đường lớn dẫn về phía gia đình, nơi có những người thân yêu luôn mong mỏi được gặp lại cô, Tony và Hùng, những người bạn đồng hành vẫn luôn chờ đợi cô trở về trong vòng tay ấm áp. Họ đã trải qua những khoảnh khắc khó khăn, nhưng tình yêu và niềm tin đã giữ họ ở lại gần. Hoài với những bước chân mệt mỏi nhưng kiên cường, cuối cùng đã tìm thấy con đường dẫn về nhà. Những tưởng rằng cô sẽ mãi lạc lối, nhưng giờ đây hy vọng lại rực sáng, dẫn lối cho cô trở về bên gia đình. Nếu bạn mong muốn Hoài được đoàn tụ với những người thân yêu, nếu bạn cũng tin rằng tình yêu sẽ luôn chiến thắng mọi thử thách, hãy để lại một nút like và đăng ký kênh để đồng hành cùng chúng tôi trong những câu chuyện đầy cảm xúc này. Hoài đã tìm được lối thoát khỏi khu rừng. Cô quyết định đi dọc theo con đường, hy vọng nó sẽ dẫn cô đến một nơi cô có thể trở về. Và cuối cùng, sau hành trình đầy khó khăn, cô cũng đã tìm được con đường lớn. Tuy nhiên, khi ra tới con đường lớn, cô lại cảm thấy bối rối vì không biết mình giờ đang ở đâu. Cô không thể nhớ được cách để trở về nhà. Mọi thứ đều trở nên mơ hồ trong mắt cô. Dù vậy, niềm hy vọng vẫn cháy trong tim cô. Cô quyết định tiếp tục hành trình, hy vọng rằng cứ đi mãi dọc theo con đường ấy cuối cùng cũng sẽ đưa cô về nơi cô thuộc về.